Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is the sequel to Beetlejuice. God damn it.
It's showtime.
It has Tim Burton returning to direct and follows the Dietz family 36 years after the events of the original. Depending on when this video comes out, I may or may not have already released my bucket list video on the original, so feel free to check it out. But long story short, while it definitely wasn't what I thought it was going to be, the original Beetlejuice is a really good movie. It's got an incredible look with great practical effects. It's got a kooky and dark sense of humor. It's got great performances. It's just a fun time all around. Going into this movie, I wasn't really sure what to expect. The trailers definitely felt like the original. It was great seeing the cast back, and it was great to see them using practical effects again. But at the same time, we've started to see a downward spiral of several legacy franchises getting decade-later sequels that miss the point of the original. And in the wrong hands, this movie could have met the same fate. So, how did it turn out? Well, the good news is that the movie overall is pretty good. It's a fun throwback with some beautifully gothic visuals and some stellar performances. Bad news is that it does fall into a couple of the traps that a few of these legacy sequels have done with its story, so I can't exactly call it great. I referenced Ghostbusters Frozen Empire a minute ago, which is kind of a fair comparison because it has a lot of the same problems that movie had. Firstly, the story has way too much going on. While I can't exactly say the story in the original movie is amazing, it was very simple and made way for a lot of great jokes and cool visuals. Here, they tried to throw everything in the kitchen sink into this plot and have all these different stories going on, and while I'm not saying they aren't funny or interesting, it's a bit much to follow. I won't go into details to avoid spoilers, but there are maybe 3 really strong plots in this movie. If they fleshed them out and made those the focus, we could have had a really great movie here. Also, the movie isn't that long, only running about 10 minutes longer than the original. But whereas the original flew by, this one felt a lot more dragged out, probably because of all the stuff going on in it. Now, I was having fun, so I didn't mind, but it was something I noticed. But now we can get to the stuff I liked about the movie, which is pretty much everything else. First of all, much like the original, the film looks amazing. Bo Welch returns as production designer, and he slips back into this world like a pair of gloves. The World of the Dead looks incredible, mixing a nice gothic style with a lot of bright colors and cool, weird designs. All the background characters look amazing, the makeup and prosthetics are all great, and again, the movie's visual effects are fantastic. I loved all the model work when showing the town, and the mixing with the stop motion and the live action was great. The cast is also awesome, with both returning actors and newcomers. Winona Ryder is great and Michael Keaton is a joy as always, but the standouts for me have got to be Catherine O'Hara and Willem Dafoe. O'Hara is enjoyably manic and has a lot of funny scenes, and Dafoe is just great to watch all around. Speaking of, the movie is also really funny. It has the same quick wit and sharp sense of humor that the original had. Also, what they do to Jeffrey Jones's character is funny on its own, but if you know about his history, it's fucking hilarious. Overall, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is a good movie. It's one of the better legacy sequels to come out in the past few years. It's got a great style and sense of humor, a host of amazing performances, and is just a fun time all around. It's just kind of a shame it's got a crowded plot holding it back a bit. Regardless, I still enjoyed it and I'd still recommend checking it out, especially if you're a fan of the original. I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5.